Hi, John.
Hi, how you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, thanks for joining us. You're our first Savage Edits interviewee for our blog series,
Okay,
which will yeah, be interviewing some indie authors, getting advice, getting insights.
so all the mistakes go on me, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah.
Sounds like my career.
Well, it's going pretty well, so I wouldn't complain too much. Cool. So yeah, let's start off just talking about your Stone Cold thriller series. That's the big
Okay,
one, isn't it? That's what kicked everything off,
yeah.
got you started. So yeah, where did the idea for Harvey Stone come from?
So the idea came from, I've always been a Jack Reacher fan, same
Hmm.
as millions of people out there. And I always read that kind of genre of book, among others. And I wanted to do something similar, but there's lots out there that are similar. So it's not saturated at all because there's plenty of readers out there. Um, but I wanted to do something different, and I'm not in the military. Never have been in the military. I've got friends who have, and I know plenty of people that could have helped me, but it's not something I could have spoke fluently about. And
Okay.
obviously, I'm not a policeman. Thank.
Yeah.
Um, but what I did have is a bit of a shady past. I messed around with a lot of the wrong people when I was younger. So not that I was a criminal or anything, but I knew people that were up to no good, and I knew how it all worked. But I wanted to write someone lovable, but also, he's like a lovable rogue, if you like.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Harvey's turned out to be.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, yeah, so that's kind of how it come from. I mean, don't get me wrong, I can't talk fluently about crime. I've never been a criminal as such.
Yeah.
But I knew more about that than anything else, and I can make that work. I can turn him into someone who's done wrong, who's doing good, and or who does bad things for the right reasons.
Hmm.
Kind of people get into that a bit, like a lovable rogue, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's one
Yeah,
of the best things about his character is this complexity of morality that he has. It's great.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Makes it really interesting as well. I mean, I can't talk about the technicalities of a gun, for example.
Mhm.
I can shoot, but I don't know the different models of a gun and the
Mhm.
scopes, or you know what I mean. I don't know all that stuff. And I think I could have done the research and I could have asked people, but I want to talk fluently about stuff. Uh,
Yeah.
so unless you've got that kind of background, it really comes through. If you look at the reviews on other books of people who perhaps haven't had that experience either, it comes through in the readers. When
Yeah.
people read about guns, like
Mhm.
someone who loves guns will pick up on everything.
Yeah,
Or
definitely.
someone who's been a cop for 20 years will know the ins and outs. So you have to tread very carefully. You have to get it exactly right.
And just as a writer, they say write what you know.
Yeah,
It will come more naturally to you if you write about something that you have at least a small amount of life experience in.
yeah, totally. I mean, I don't think you should limit yourself to writing what you know. You should always push yourself, but it's great to have a grounding in whatever you're talking about.
Yeah, definitely. And I guess you did have to do a certain amount of research into guns and stuff, especially when it gets to like Melody and her sniper
Yeah,
times. Yeah.
yeah. So I've got a select few friends and network of people who can help me out with particular questions, but I never delve too deep into the technicalities
Hmm.
of it because it's just open to interpretation. Someone's gonna disagree, write a bad review, or you're gonna upset them and lose a reader, and you don't want that, right?
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, it's been really popular. Everyone
yeah,
loves Harvey.
yeah.
Hugely successful, consistently in the top 10, top 100, sorry, for organized crime, vigilante genres. Um, yeah, what do you do to become successful in the publishing world?
Okay, so first of all, I wrote a couple of books that didn't do very well. Um, so I learned about it.
Hmm.
So there's a couple of factors. I learned a hell of a lot. And then when I started the process, I treated it all like a business, right? So first of all, there's podcasts, books, audiobooks, social media. You can literally every spare second of the day I was learning. I was listening to an audiobook or listening to a podcast. But there's such a wide range of tasks that you need to do as a self-published author, especially when you're starting. So it's not just about writing a book. It's about the keywords that you choose. It's about your covers. It's about, are you going to go wide or are you going to stay exclusive to Amazon? Are you going to go into KDP? You know, so there's tons more than that. So it's about learning the right things in the right order. There's no point learning how to market a book before you've written the book. While you're writing the book, you can learn about the art of writing. So you can learn about plot points and structure and stuff like that, right? And you can start thinking about series, and you can listen to people who have published a series, and you can learn from their mistakes and what did they do wrong. So it's about learning in the right order, but you have to learn and you have to plan. Secondly, treating it like a business. So I measure everything. So I measure how many page reads I get on Kindle Unlimited. I measure how many sales I get. I measure my read through. I measure my ad spend. I measure my return. I measure absolutely everything every week, right? So then, I'm fortunate enough. I've got a background. I used to be in IT, and I worked for some of the biggest companies on the planet, right? So Walt Disney, Facebook, top 5 law firms. Of all them firms, there's big architecture firms in there. Of all them firms, they all do one thing similar, and they all have a meeting once or twice a week. Right? And they don't say let's measure stuff, but that's when the different kind of entities and different business functions come in with their results.
Interesting, yeah.
Right, and what they'll do, it's a process of continuous improvement. So that's what they do, and that's what I try to do. So I will measure my results just like they measure all their results, and I'll give myself a target for the next week. So this week I'm going to concentrate on, I don't know, I'll just revamped all my book covers. So it took about a month, but that was them. I'm going to revamp all my book covers, and I'm going to try and kind of raise the bar a little bit more. And then I know this week it might be, I'm going to hone in on the ads that I do, right? And I'm going to try and get a little bit more out of the ads. Every week should be trying to achieve something else and working on something else. It's continuous, it never stops. A lot of people will get to a certain point, oh, this is working, and they'll never touch that again.
Okay.
So how many people sign up to your mailing list? If you've got, I don't know, 3 or 4 people signing up to your mailing list every week or every day, why not try and change the wording in your copy that's a little bit more enticing and try and bring it up to 5 or 6 people a day? It's them small incremental changes that you should be making, or I think you should be making all the time.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where it makes a difference. It doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, cool. It's a really good way of thinking about it as a business, especially when there's so many writers who will probably focus on the writing side and then think that that's enough. But yeah, if you get into business mentality, that's just as important.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be complex, and there's a lot of people out there who say, oh, I'm no good at the business side, or I don't believe in ads, or maybe it doesn't have to be complex. You can start off really basic, but if you're not measuring anything, how do you know what changes you make, and how do you know where you're improving or where you can improve? Right? You've got to start somewhere, and the more data you've got, without sounding like a nerd, the more data you've got, the better decisions that you can make on that. You've got 6 months worth of data compared to 2 years worth of data. I mean, it's a big difference, right?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and keeping a journal or keeping some way of recording the changes that you make. So if you change your keywords on KDP, make a note of when you change them. Have some kind of process so that you can look back in a month or two's time when you start to see the differences. And you can say, well, actually, I'm selling less books now, right? Put them keywords back to how they were, or try something else. But
Okay.
if you don't record that, then you've got no chance, really.
Yeah, and you might make the same mistakes in the future.
Yeah. Well, it might be really successful. You might sell 20 times as more books, and you made 3 or 4 changes. What are you going to do? I don't know what changed that made that success, right?
Yeah, right. Okay. Okay, great advice. Yeah, thanks.